Opener?
Yeah, Coach is here to talk about the big win tonight. He'll have a quick statement, then feel free to ask questions, Coach.
We're very pleased to get the win tonight against South Dakota. I thought we had some strong performances early in each half that kind of got us out in front and bought us some bargaining space. But, you know, I talked to 3 or 4 guys in the locker room after the game. How'd you play? Not very good, Coach. Now, it was college kid language, so we're going to keep it family friendly, but not very good, Coach. And it's true. Like, it's always good to win, and you've got plenty to improve on. And I think you saw that tonight. We did not have a complete team effort. It wasn't uncanny, but we did enough right things for long enough periods of time to come out with a victory.
Questions for Coach?
Yeah. Tim, coming out of the second, for the first couple minutes, you seemed like you were geared up, and then obviously about 10 minutes in, they made their run. You guys weren't boxing out. They were using their bigger, thicker size, and they were taking advantage of that. You called the timeout, and then they still weathered the storm, obviously. But can you kind of run through that? What are you trying to instill in them?
So you have a lead, and pretty soon we start missing inside shots. I think we had 4 or 6 shots right at the rim. Missed them all, okay? They go down, and we miss an assignment. We block a shot. They get it back. You name it, it goes wrong. And now their physicality kind of gets us on our heels, and the lead goes from 19 all the way down to whatever, right? 3, right? And that's good. That's a good experience to go through. And you could see at the under 8 timeout, it was 7, and the body language was not good. Like, guys were stressed, frustrated, and it's a good problem to have. And that's what I told them in the timeout. I said, the only thing that matters is from what we do from this timeout to the next immediate timeout. And right now it's 7. Let's make it more. And I think we did make it more, actually. I think it went up to 10 or 11. And because you have to approach it that way, I said, we played great for a long time tonight. And now, you know what? We've missed inside shots, and they've seen us at our worst. What's going to happen when we're at our worst? They're going to make a run. So what are we emotional about? It is what it is. Let's figure out how to recalibrate and get back going again. Those are almost the exact words with maybe a little spice in there on occasion.
Another question for Coach?
Yeah, so Coach has now been twice this season at home where San Jose State had a 15-plus point lead just disappear, but then they find ways to win. So what does
we didn't get behind this time.
Right.
We did the other ones. I think it's part of that process, that growth of a team, of who we are. We are, because we lack the physicality that we have to play with, we don't do some things. We get beat up inside on some second shots and on some inside shots, and we don't finish the way we should. And we don't get fouled enough to feel comfortable at the foul. Our guys can shoot foul shots, but they walk up there, and it's like the first time I've been there in a week and a half. And so there's nerves. And I think that's part of all of that, and that's part of the growth and maturation of this team. And I think we'll get better and better as the season goes on at those things. So when we do get a lead, hopefully, certainly some teams are going to make runs at you no matter what. And you have to weather that storm. And you're not going to play perfectly for 40 minutes in a college basketball game with college basketball players. So there's going to be some ups and downs. And we saw that tonight, but we were able to weather it, stretch it back out, and hold on to win. Yes.
Hey there, Coach. I'm kind of new to this entire situation, but one thing that I saw out there which really interested me was that both teams had very strong, aggressive outputs throughout the entire game. But the one thing that I saw which interested me was that the South Dakota team would have this really interesting, aggressive defensive position on you guys, and you would have to adjust as much as you could, and then you would try to kick it out in a 1-2-3, almost like it looked like you guys were about to be the next Bay Area Warriors real quick. And I was like, I saw that, and it was really nice. I was wondering how you got your team to focus with it, because I saw those touches, and it was like, okay, good, that's good. Okay, I see he almost didn't get that one. So how did you get them to have that focus to have those touches and get in and get those shots?
Yeah, and I agree with you. I thought they did a good job physically with defense to cut off the drives to the rim and stuff like that. So we call them extras, right? So you get to a place and you pass the ball to what would be probably the first open shot. You know, now we want to make a couple extra passes to get the next open shot, and that's the good shot. And I think that this team has done a good job, just embracing that, you know what, I'm going to give up my look for my buddy who's going to get a better look. And I'm going to do it willingly and eagerly, you know, and that's not always the case. Some guys are like, oh, they don't want to. I'm like, oh, I got my hands on it. There's only one thing that's happening. I'm shooting that thing. But our guys have done a good job of wanting to share it and making those extras extra, right? And make it, and then the guy who gets them, who's the recipient, has been knocking them down. That's really important too.
Any more questions for Coach?
And of course, Coach, this week is pretty interesting because both of the home opponents are from your neck of the woods. So what have you seen from the Summit League Dakota schools that makes them so successful in recent years?
So I was a Division II coach against all those guys when they were rock solid Division II teams. And we actually, when North Dakota State, who was the first team to announce they were going Division I was the head coach there. When we announced, we tried to get the entire league, South Dakota State, North Dakota, all, you know, St. Cloud State, Mankato, all those guys to come with us. And eventually South Dakota and North Dakota did. South Dakota State and North Dakota State went at the same time. And they're well-resourced schools. They always hire good coaches. They have great facilities. They have all the things in place you need to build a solid, strong program. And I think that's what you saw to them tonight. Physically, you know, so that means nutrition is good, weight training is good, guys are taking care of themselves. There's a lot of things that go with that, right? And when and that upper Midwest, so that whole Summit League like that, has really invested into the basketball. In fact, they hosted the Summit League tournament for years up in Sioux Falls. I think they're still hosting it. And that was huge. And then Stanford Health actually put in millions and millions of dollars into facilities up and down Interstate 29 at all of those schools, almost all of those schools. And so now you have these state-of-the-art facilities. You have kids that want to go there and play, and you have Division I opportunities. You get to play against the best of the best. And I think it's pretty cool that, you know, San José State hasn't played South Dakota since the early 70s or mid-70s. And that's what I thought I read in the game notes. And the fact that we get to reconvene again now as equals, you know, as both Division I partners, they get to enjoy some sunshine and we get to enjoy the win.
Trying to understand your lineups there, and so we have Ibrahima, or you have Allen, or, you know, is there like a speed lineup, a death lineup, a
yeah,
bully
that's what
lineup?
I'm still looking for a lineup of death, so to speak. You know, your best lineup, and certainly it looks like the two guards, Omari and Trey Smith, with Tibet and any three of the other bigs, has been pretty good for us. But we have to get Alvaro going. We have to get Josh Ogaro going. We have to get Caleb Simmons to play better. We need more. We got to get guys healthy. You know, Eduardo Lane is still out, and Sebastian Mendoza is still out, and we're not getting Rich Washington back. And so when you look at these things, you know, we are who we are. Tonight I even went with a bigger lineup, but it didn't work out because then Trey Anderson got the 4 fouls when he had only had 2. And he got 2 cheap ones. I wouldn't mind playing that lineup, and I think we're going to need to play that lineup with Sean, Trey Anderson, Eves, and then 2 guards even. And Tibet could be one of those guards too. But you know, that's probably our best rebounding lineup. But because of foul trouble, I have not been able to play that lineup outside of tonight.
Any more questions for Coach?
Thanks very much. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, Cardenas with SJS Sports. How do you feel about adding speed to your team? Excuse me. Cardenas has really proven to be almost a promising player. I know it's really kind of short to say with him being a freshman, but he really hits that court so hard. Yep. And what do you think your next approach is with him for North Dakota?
Yep, just patience, really. Alvaro can do it. He is a guy that I believe in a great deal. Tonight he was just really having a freshman experience. You know, just it's tough. It's and he didn't play great. And he didn't have a great shoot around or practice today. So maybe I was a little bit alarmed by that, but then he didn't play his best. He does bring speed to the lineup. He does bring ball movement and things. And usually that 3-guard lineup, and you're right, he's another guy we can add to that. Just tonight wasn't his best. And he's a guy that I've played. And in fact, when Omari Moore was out at Cal Baptist, he was a go-to guy for us. We had a big lead until he got in foul trouble. And then we had to hang on. And then when we got him back, it just wasn't enough. But he's a guy with a bright future. Thank you.
one more quick one, Tim, just
Yep, no, you're
to
good.
ask me for a basketball lesson here. I looked at the previous 5 games just by chance. The plus minus wasn't looking that good. Obviously tonight was really good. What is the plus?
Of a certain player or?
No, just collectively the team. The plus
Yep.
minus across the board was
Yep.
pretty bad.
Yeah, well, when you put Texas in there, and
right.
that debacle of Texas and 2 1-point win or victory of 3, it's going to look bad. You know what I mean? Right now, our numbers, I don't think, because of the closest of all of our games, literally, as we get maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, through this stretch of 4 games, let's say through Pacific next weekend, and then I'll even take Texas out. I'm going to look at our numbers then, and that's when I'm going to try and figure out where we stand, quite frankly. Because if you look at them right now, Texas just blows everything out of the water. Stanford was a close game, Cal Baptist was a close game, and then 2 tight wins. So 3 one-possession games, and then you get beat on the road. But then when you add that Texas debacle in there, your stats can't catch that this early in the season.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that's just my take, right?
I have one more question.
Yes, sir.
So, calling also again, KSJS. So, each team had this one strong assist player that caught my eye all the time. For our team, it was Sean Robinson, actually. And when I saw him going in the second half and him taking lead to make sure that he could guard someone to make sure the ball got kicked out, I was like, I like this. I see how he's going. This is definitely a team player. My thing I wanted to ask you was, do you have any kind of offensive ideas in set where you have more assists happening in the paint? Because I liked when I saw that with you guys, and it was like, oh, this is exciting, this is great, and you had just this beautiful asset happening with you guys, and just put buckets in the. It was just beautiful.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So one of the things we do, and we ran it in the first half, but we had 2 turnovers. We had a charge, and we tried to throw it to Sean, where we post up kind of multiple different guys, and we have 2 guards high, and we just keep cutting guys into the post. And that's one of the things that we can do. We just have to get better at it. And the one thing our team, if you notice, is we really have, only 2, maybe even 3 primary ball handlers. So a guy that could play point. Oftentimes, on my other teams, you'd want 3, 4, and 5 guys like that. Guys that could be you inbounded to, and they could, break the pressure all by themselves, so to speak, right? We have 2 for sure, Alvaro and Omari. And then Trey Smith some, right? The other guys are more wingish, kind of move without it, maybe spray and pass it and do those things. So we need some better handlers, too, to get those guys the ball in the places they need it so they can do and share it the way you saw it, too. Sean definitely has an eager heart to share the ball that way. Thank you.
There we go.
All right, thanks, guys.